Air and water. Highlights of the lesson. Students will be able to understand that air is a mixture of gases. State the composition of air. Components of air. We learn air and water in daily life. What causes the wind to blow? Yes, air. What is the other important component of life? Yes, water. All organisms need air and water. Without these, we cannot live. Let us check. In addition to food, we need two things to survive on the earth: air and water. Air is all around us. Air forms a blanket around the earth that makes life on this planet possible. This invisible blanket of air is called the atmosphere. Components of air. Air is a mixture of gases. It contains oxygen that enables us to breathe and live. It contains carbon dioxide needed by plants. Some other gases present in air are nitrogen and argon. Air also contains water vapor, dust and smoke. Nitrogen. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the atmosphere. Air contains 78% nitrogen. Plants need nitrogen to grow. However, all plants cannot use the nitrogen from the atmosphere directly. Only some plants, such as peas and beans, can convert atmospheric nitrogen to a useful form in their roots. Other plants get nitrogen from the soil. Nitrogen is used to make fertilizers. It is also used to keep packaged foods fresh. Liquid nitrogen is very cold. It is used in laboratories, blood banks and food storage units to keep items frozen. Oxygen. Air contains 20% oxygen. The presence of oxygen makes life on the earth possible. Oxygen is also needed for burning. Do you know? While oxygen supports burning, nitrogen controls burning. Had there been no nitrogen in the atmosphere, we would not have been control fire. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is needed by all green plants to make their food. Carbon dioxide plays a major role in trapping the sun's heat that enters the atmosphere. This maintains the required warmth on the earth. However, burning large amounts of fossil fuels releases a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere traps the heat from the sun. This can raise the temperature of the earth. This is called the greenhouse effect. Do you know? The greenhouse effect is a natural process. It keeps the earth warm enough for us to live and grow food. However, excess of this effect due to human activities is bad for us. Water vapor. The water from the surface of rivers, oceans and other water bodies evaporates and forms water vapor in the atmosphere. Water vapor also contributes in trapping the sun's heat inside the atmosphere. The amount of water vapor in the atmosphere varies from place to place and from time to time. Other gases. The other gases present in the atmosphere are argon, methane, nitrous, say nitrous oxide, and sulfur dioxide. Smoke and dust particles are also present in the atmosphere. Activity 1. Take 2 candles. Light them and place them on a table. Cover the first candle by inverting an empty glass or glass jar over it. Leave the second candle uncovered. After a few minutes, you will notice that the covered candle stops burning, whereas the uncovered candle continues to burn. This is because the covered candle uses the oxygen present inside the jar to burn. As soon as all the oxygen inside the jar is used up, the candle stops burning. On the other hand, the uncovered candle keeps getting oxygen from the air around it and continues to burn. Do you know? Polluting gases such as oxides of nitrogen and sulfur dioxide react with the tiny droplets of water in clouds to form nitric acid and sulfuric acid. These then fall to the ground as acid rain. Importance of the atmosphere. The atmosphere forms an invisible blanket around the earth, keeping it warm and safe. The atmosphere is thick near the surface of the earth. It gets thinner as we go higher up into the space. Layers in the atmosphere. The atmosphere is divided into the following 5 layers. Troposphere. Troposphere is the layer closest to the Earth's surface. We live in this layer along with other animals and plants. Cloud formation and weather changes take place in the troposphere. It contains nearly 80% mass of the atmosphere. It extends 10 to 15 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. Stratosphere. The stratosphere is nearly 35 kilometers thick layer above the troposphere. It contains a gas called ozone. Ozone acts like a shield and protects us from the harmful ultraviolet (UV) radiation of the sun. The ozone absorbs the UV radiation and prevents it from reaching the Earth. UV radiation can cause sunburns, irritation of eyes and skin cancer. Mesosphere. The layer above the stratosphere is the mesosphere. It extends to nearly 35 kilometers above the stratosphere. It is the coldest layer of the atmosphere. It contains very little quantities of oxygen, ozone and water vapor. It burns and destroys the meteors that enter the atmosphere from space before they can strike the Earth's surface. Thermosphere. The thermosphere lies directly above the mesosphere. It is about 450 to 900 kilometers in thickness. Space shuttles orbit in this layer. Exosphere. The exosphere merges with the outer space. Most of the satellites orbiting the Earth are located in this layer. Layers in the atmosphere. Properties of air. We cannot see or smell air, yet we know that it is all around us. We can feel it moving on windy days. Air has mass and occupies space. See activities 2 and 3. Therefore, air is matter. Activity 2. Air occupies space and exerts pressure. Take a balloon and blow air into it. Does it become bigger? The air you blew into it needs space. So, it inflates the balloon. Also, it pushes against the walls of the balloon to make it grow larger. Now, if you release the mouth of the balloon, it collapses. The air inside the balloon escapes. Therefore, it returns to its original shape. Blow the balloon again. Keep blowing it until it bursts. Why does it burst? Activity 3. Air has mass. Suspend a coat hanger from the ceiling using a string. Take 2 blown up balloons. Attach one balloon to either side of the hanger. The hanger should be horizontal. Now, prick one balloon with a pin. The hanger tilts towards the other balloon. This shows that the blown up balloon is heavier than the pricked balloon. Therefore, air has mass. Measuring atmospheric pressure. The force exerted by the atmosphere per unit area of the surface of the Earth is called atmospheric pressure. The atmosphere exerts pressure in all directions. Atmospheric pressure is different at different places. It has maximum value at the sea level and decreases with an increase in altitude. The instrument used to measure atmospheric pressure is called a barometer. Water. All living organisms on the earth need water to survive. Where does this water come from? Water covers nearly 70% of the earth's surface. However, less than 1% of the total water is in the rivers, lakes and streams. The remaining water is found as ice and in the oceans. We cannot drink sea water as it is too salty. So, the water that is found in the rivers, lakes and streams has to be used by all human beings, animals and plants. If this water gets polluted and becomes unfit for drinking, we will run out of water. Water is a colorless, odorless and tasteless liquid. Water exists in all the 3 forms of matter in nature: solid, snow and ice. Liquid, water. And gas, water vapor and steam. Water can dissolve many things. More substances dissolve in water than in any other liquid. So, water is called as the universal solvent. Substances such as sugar and salt that dissolve completely in water are called soluble substances. Activity 4. Fill half of a glass with water. Add a spoonful of sugar to it and mix it with a spoon. You will see that the sugar disappears. It gets dissolved in water and makes it taste sweet. Therefore, we say that sugar is soluble in water. Substances such as sand and wood that do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. Activity 5. Fill half of a glass with water. Add a quarter spoonful of mustard seeds into it and mix it with the spoon. The mustard seeds do not disappear. They settle down at the bottom of the glass. They do not dissolve in water. Therefore, we say that mustard seeds are insoluble in water. Purification of water. Some common impurities found in water are soil, remains of dead plants and animals, and wastes from houses and industries. Some of them are soluble, while some others are insoluble. Both soluble and insoluble impurities must be removed from water before we use it. Removing insoluble impurities. Insoluble impurities are removed from water by sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. Sedimentation and decantation. Insoluble impurities are allowed to settle down at the bottom of a container of water. This process is called sedimentation. The impurities that settle down at the bottom are called sediments. The top layer of clean water is gently poured into another container without disturbing the sediment. This process is called decantation. Activity 6. Fill half of a beaker with water. Mix some sand in it. Leave it undisturbed for 10 minutes. The sand will settle down at the bottom of the beaker. This process is called sedimentation. Separate the sand from the water by pouring the clear water from the top slowly into another empty beaker. This process is called decantation. Filtration. The process of removing insoluble impurities from water with the help of a filter is called filtration. Activity 7. Fill half of a beaker with water. Mix some sand in it. Tie a clean piece of cotton cloth on the mouth of another beaker. The cloth acts as a filter. Pour the water slowly onto the cotton cloth. The sand gets collected on the cotton cloth and clean water gets collected in the beaker. We can remove certain soluble impurities and kill germs present in water by boiling and chlorination. Boiling. Boiling kills most of the germs present in water. It also converts down some soluble impurities into insoluble ones. These impurities settle at the bottom and sides of the container. These can be easily removed by filtration. Chlorination. To kill germs, chlorine is added in small amounts to water. The tap water that is supplied to our homes is chlorinated. We can also buy chlorine tablets from a chemist's shop to disinfect water at home. Iodine tablets can also be added to drinking water to disinfect it. Making water fit for drinking. The simplest way to make drinking water safe at home is to filter and boil it for 15 to 20 minutes. We also use commercial water filters for filtration. Some filters have a candle made of filter paper or ceramic material. Both of them have very tiny holes that trap the impurities. They allow the clean water to pass through. We must clean or replace the filter candles at regular intervals to get rid of the trapped impurities. Some water filters use ultraviolet light to kill germs. We now also use reverse osmosis (RO) purifiers to purify drinking water. The water that is supplied to our homes is taken from lakes and rivers. It is purified at the water treatment plant by sedimentation, filtration and chlorination before being supplied to our homes. Do you know? Water comprises nearly 73% of the human heart and brain, 83% of the human lungs, and 64% of the human skin. Even bones have about 31% water in them. Distilled water. Distilled water is the purest form of water. It is used in science laboratories and in car batteries. To obtain distilled water, water is allowed to boil. It changes into water vapor, leaving behind all the dissolved impurities. The vapors are collected and condensed in another container to obtain distilled water. This process is called distillation. The dewdrops are seen on leaves of plants early in the morning are an example of distilled water found in nature. The small water drops seen under the lid of a cooking pot are also distilled water. Let's recall. Air and water are essential for our survival. Air or atmosphere is all around us. It contains nitrogen, oxygen, and other important gases. Its layers protect us from harmful ultraviolet radiations of the sun. Air is matter. It has weight, occupies space, and exerts pressure. Water occupies nearly 70% of the Earth's surface. But we can use only less than 1% of the total water. Water is a universal solvent as many substances can dissolve in it. Drinking water can be cleaned through sedimentation and decantation, boiling, filtration and chlorination. Reverse osmosis is also used to clean water. Glossary. Atmosphere. An invisible blanket of air around the earth. Sedimentation. Allowing solid, insoluble impurities in a solution to settle down at the bottom of a container. Decantation. Gently pouring out the clear liquid from the top layers of a sedimentation mixture. Distilled water. The purest form of water obtained by condensing water vapor.